And we're here, folks. Finally, we made it back to where we're going to set up our camp for the winter for our little trapping grounds, for our rabbit trapping grounds. This is my dog Elmer. My name's Dave. I live up here in Northern Ontario, Canada. I have an off-grid living with David Knoll channel. That's me. You can tell by the shirt and the hat. It's a sister channel to this one. I just started this one. Obviously, this is called Self-Reliance Survival. My off-the-grid channel basically dives into how about 3 years ago I decided to leave suburban living and move off-grid to the country, buy a little piece of land and start to provide myself with as much as I possibly could. Now in saying that, over the last 3 years I've developed the homestead into a pretty self-sufficient little place. I mean, I raise chickens, I farm, not farm, I have a garden. I do a lot of my own baking, a lot of my own preserving. And I supply myself right now with about 60 to 70% of my food needs. So another big part of off-grid living for me anyway, as a traditional homesteader, I have no running water. I take the water from a well, put it in a container, and basically it's all gravity fed in my place. I have no electricity. I have a small 40-watt panel that charges my appliance or my devices, so like my iPad and my cell phone. That's it. I'm pretty old school, you know, and this is the way I wanted to keep it. I didn't want status quo appliances. I didn't want to have a full, you know, solar power generation system or a wind generation power system that, you know, I was going to have to upkeep and rely on. I didn't want to move out here and basically just live the same life I had, you know, for the last 40 years. I wanted to come out and challenge myself and push myself. I've always loved nature. I've always worked well with nature. And I don't want to disrupt it too much. I respect it a lot, and I feel really blessed for the ability to work really hard to get myself to where I am now, to develop the homestead and to, you know, work a little bit less and work a little bit more on providing myself with the important things in life, like spending time with my son and providing ourselves with what we need to survive and to thrive. And we really do thrive out here. I wouldn't change it for anything. I love this life. I love this lifestyle. And I think once it's in your bones, it never leaves. So I'm out here today, basically just starting this channel. It's going to be, I say a lot, I'm sorry. But I'm going to start this channel. I think it's important for me because there's a lot of issues I like to talk about regarding off-grid living and survival. I've been a survivalist now for about 10 years and basically live it every day in my day-to-day life. So I spend a lot of time in the woods. I spend a lot of time providing myself with wild game, fish, animals to consume for my protein for the wintertime. And I love it. And I wanted to share it with you guys and gals. So basically this journey of self-reliance survival is going to show what I know in the woods and what I use, the applications I use to be able to live this this homesteader lifestyle. I mean, it's came to a point now in my life where I don't want to work the long haul, the grind, the 9 to 5, the 6 to 6, you know, the slug your guts out for nothing just to have really nice stuff. It's not who I am. The stuff I have is what I need. And I like that. And I think that this lifestyle has really shown myself and my son that you don't have to be constantly on that hamster wheel scraping by for that extra dollar just to have that thing or to pay that huge mortgage. I mean, there's a lot more to life than that. And I think that's what this lifestyle has really taught me, is that there's so much more out here that I'd rather be doing than slugging around in a small city or a town, trying to make a buck and putting up with all the crap that comes along with it. And another thing too is that, you know, the world's in a very tricky time right now. I mean, we just had a massive flood take out, I believe it was Highway 8. It was a main transport route in British Columbia and really disrupted the supply chain for the country and many countries, because a lot of our eastern goods are shipped out west and then carried by ship to various countries. Vancouver is a huge port city, and it really showed me, you know, how we rely on so many things to live this lifestyle that's been taught to us, this lifestyle that's been kind of ingrained in us since we were children. It's that constant need to make things easier, and it started, with the invention of appliances and vehicles and all this stuff, which are great, but it's collapsing our nations, the things that we need to consume, and it's just not working. And I got to see that with the coronavirus, the supply chain shortage for the world. I mean, our car dealerships are empty. The shelves were empty. A lot of the shelves are still kind of empty most of the time. And it really showed me how one root or one pandemic can really affect how we live. And I don't want to be affected by that. I can supply myself with my own heat, my own water, my own food, my own shelter, and live a very nice life. Is it for everybody? Of course not. Of course it's not for everybody. There's people with medical issues and people that just don't want to do it. It's a rare thing to want to live like this. But for myself, that's what I want to show in this channel, is how it's really improved my life, my mental health, what I consider important in my life now. It's really set my priorities straight for me, and I just want to share that with you. I think it's a fun journey. I like being creative. I'm a creative person, and YouTube and having various channels, and I'm going to start a podcast as well. It's a creative outlet for me to be able to get out what I want to get out, and to maybe help someone. When I went off grid and started homesteading, I turned to YouTube for a lot of things, because a lot of things, I had a strong skill set in construction and mechanical construction, but I didn't know some of these ins and outs, and YouTube really pulled me through in a lot of areas, in a lot of ways. So I think if I can contribute at all to that, or to this lifestyle, the information out there about this lifestyle, that's a bonus for me. That is great. That is awesome. And if I can generate extra income from having a YouTube channel, that would be great too, because then I can continue to be creative and develop my homestead in the way that I want to. But it's not main priority. Main priority is just getting the information out, and allowing me to have a creative outlet for what I do on a day-to-day basis. Because sometimes it gets lonely, and sometimes this camera is the only thing I've got. So I just want to share it. But yeah, being vulnerable in the society now, I don't think it's ever been more present, because back when the wars were going on and stuff, people still had a really good skill set on how to survive with almost nothing. But now that's not in our children. That's not in us. We rely on so much stuff. We rely on one pipe to carry gas into our homes, in towns, to be able to cook with, or to heat our homes with. I mean, that one pipe goes down, like we just saw in BC. There's major issues. A pipe bringing our water into our house. We're very vulnerable in our society these days, because we rely on, those one pipes to bring us what we need, or to discharge what we don't need. And I don't think we're raising our kids in a world now where that kind of information and that kind of skill set's going to get them by, because the world's changing so fast with climate change and global warming. And we're starting to really see now the effects they talked about like 20 years ago, when they're like, hey, we should really start to do something here, and nobody did. It's really starting to hit home now. Mother Nature's fighting back like she always does, and she'll always win. She's been, pricked and prodded and blown up and gouged and cut down for so many years now that she needs a break. And I think that's what she's doing with all these natural effects that we're seeing, and these new viruses that are popping up. We're just encroaching into areas of the world where we shouldn't be. And she's not happy. So to make a very long story short, this is the introduction to my YouTube channel, Self-Reliance Survival. And these are some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. At nighttime when I get back to camp from hunting or trapping, I'm going to be just sitting around the campfire, chatting about some of these issues, and looking forward to your comments, and looking forward to your suggestions, or what your views are. That's really important to me too. I really like to think about what other people feel from certain topics I bring up. So it's going to be kind of a full circle original survival channel. It's going to show skills, things that I do to survive out here, things that I do to be comfortable, and different methods that I found that are beneficial to me. I live in a wonderful climate. It's going to get down to about -30, -40 here in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to stay like that for a few months. So I'm just going to show you how I adapt to that, and how I've made this kind of, I work with nature, I don't work against her. And I don't need all the modern amenities to get by and to be comfortable and to be happy. So yeah, thank you very much. Sorry for saying I'm a lot. Again, my name's Dave, and I hope we enjoy this journey together. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is my first survival YouTube channel, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do this stuff with you guys, because this is the fun part of homesteading. You know, this is the really fun part of, you know, all that hard work is getting out in the forest and in the bush and spending time out here with myself, my dog, my son, and, you know, just seeing what she has to offer. This is beautiful. And as long as you take the right precautions and you have the right mindset and you're willing to suffer a little bit, because that's going to come, you're going to have a great time. So please stay tuned. I'm going to have a lot of great episodes coming up. And I really look forward to starting this journey with you all. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.